The Game has been hands down one of the West Coast's premier artists of the 2000s, challenging some of hip-hop's greatest to go bar for bar.
Why Like, what was the origin?
You know why?
Yeah.
At some point, The Game stopped chasing greatness and started chasing attention.
Nah, but you know what? I met Kim before Ye.
Beef became promotion. Stories became flexible.
Why would you bring that up and say it publicly?
And every album needs a new enemy.
So now, after so many years of The Game just teasing and just flat out edging us, we're finally here.
This is the story of a cat king from Compton with the most overzealous ways of promoting an album.
But you know, I gangbang hard, and Dot, you know, he non-affiliated, but he Compton.
From inciting beefs.
You niggas starving.
To scams.
But me, I got you. Hit me.
That means his cash app must not be connected to his phone.
To even mentioning the king of pop.
He said, man, Michael Jackson on the phone.
Destroying the memory of everything he built to become a face of the Mount Rushmore of Cap.
I think Game can rap with anybody in the world. I just think it's tough to.
This is the Cap story of The Game.
You got Cap in your raps. You got Cap in your raps.
The Cap of Bompton's main move when it comes to album releases would be forced beef.
Why Like, what was the
You
origin?
wanna know why?
Yeah.
Because 50 can't rap. And so I gotta go a level up and challenge the better rapper.
This is something we have seen several times.
And I go on a birthday club, bend nose and see this nigga Game capping a pussy Charlemagne like he won't smoke. Why you is not about that action? I'm uploading the video.
You the same. Your mama was a crook. You a blood. Listen, you fake ass hoe ass nigga.
But this time, Jayceon Taylor would get the attention he was looking for at the expense of his Compton connection. Going after every Aftermath artist following his Super Bowl snub, there always seemed to be some sort of jealousy of his Compton colleague.
I've been knowing Kendrick since he was, you know, first starting off in hip hop. I took him around the world with me, man, on, you know, on my tour and let him, you know, him and J-Rock was doing their thing with Top Dog opening up, and somebody that I helped, you know, shape and mold. I remember when I told K-Dot that K-Dot wasn't gonna work and that he should just change his name to Kendrick. And he did that, and one day I seen this cover with I want to say I think it was Kendrick on it or something, or maybe Dre or Kendrick, but it was like, you know, the guy that sold Tillman Records was just missing. Felt like whoever was writing that or edited it, you know, edited the magazine, you know, for that month and put that out.
Here's why it matters. Kendrick's shadow began to cast over Game, who had no choice but to give up the crown to a fellow Compton artist who he even had collabs with.
That's on me. Raise up, nigga, you are not the homie. Bitch, you're well connected from my section down to Long Beach.
In 2024, K-Dot would get into a generational war with Drake. And while K-Dot was ripping apart Drake, Jayceon would make a surprising move.
You niggas starving.
During the whole Kendrick-Drake beef, he had some questionable moves.
He was with Drake.
You know, he's got a record with Drake.
Everything would change when on one gloomy evening, DJ Academics would have a stream where he would premiere a bombshell.
Body on a scale like it's fish in it. I can see the bitch in him. $20 million home renovation just to slit your wrists in it.
Ross, who entered the Drake battle with a diss track, will become a target to Game's bipolarness, forgetting his self-proclaimed title of Protector of the West.
Hold myself in this capacity where I'm like anything taking shots at the West Coast, like I'm a live and die.
Kendrick would have a pop-out concert with Dre as a special guest who would let Game know he's not forgotten.
You ain't gonna say nothing else before, you know, we continue the party?
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna just need a moment of silence for this.
I see dead people. Dre, I see dead people.
Modern vampires of the city.
Motherfuckers in my DMs and all on these, you know, these blog sites and whatnot, talking about, you know, the West Coast ain't f***ing with you and you ain't, you know, you ain't this and you ain't that. And I put on for the West Coast. And Top Dog know what it is. Kendrick know what it is. Dr. Dre know what it is. Snoop know what it is. Now, as far as the fucking Kendrick and Drake, that's Kendrick and Drake shit, nigga. I ain't have to be there, you know what I'm saying, to think that it was motherfucking cool and major. That's cool. I think it's a dub for the coast.
On top of that, Jayceon would get crushed not from a diss track from Rick Ross, but a simple IG post.
You niggas don't want to eat?
You niggas don't want to eat, must not. You niggas starving. You niggas starving.
Game's refusal to back Kendrick would mark a full round circle of beef he would partake with almost every artist on the Super Bowl roster. This time, Jayceon's attention would be more focused.
But you know, I gangbang hard, and Dot, you know, he non-affiliated, but he Compton.
Appearing on podcasts and interviews promoting his new Gangsta Grills mixtape, Every Movie Needs a Trailer.
I was always asking Top, I was like, yo, let me get Dot. He was like, no. And
he tried to sound supportive while still rewriting history, the same move he'd been using for years.
I want you to do.
So when you say let me get Dot, are you talking about let me get him as an artist or as a feature?
Let me get him as an artist.
The internet would assume that this was just subs by the Game and nothing more.
Game commented on an IG post from Remo claiming he was dissing Kendrick. He said, y'all reaching. If I got a problem with a ninja, you ain't gonna need to guess. Secondly, y'all weird-ass Me Too fans ride anybody nuts the internet tell y'all to.
Of course, these lines were not directed at an artist he openly passed the torch to.
So they are saying, hey, Game, this Kendrick. When I was listening to the album, I didn't catch that. You caught it. Oh, the line that I heard, it was something like, the person you thought was the king of the West basically was like scary or something like that. And people interpreted that's what he was talking about. That's what.
Los Angeles King, show me a rooftop, I shout it. And the nigga y'all thought was king ain't gonna do nothing about it.
He would then surprise many and let them know there were no mistakes made.
The Game is finally calling out Kendrick Lamar, you guys. He said fans got a lot to say about who I can and can't out-rap, but the y'all defending is quiet. Yikes. This man really wants Kendrick to respond to him. He really wants to go bar for bar with him.
Just like with other attempts, Jayceon's desperate plea would go unanswered.
Is Game a better rapper than Kendrick?
A rapper, yes. Better artist, no.
I think Game can rap with anybody in the world. I just think it's tough to discard artistry.
His rundown schemes finally running its course. At this point, the beef wasn't about competition anymore. In his mind, it was about survival. And when attention stopped turning into respect, it started turning into money grabs, aka scams. Jayceon would go online and for a low price offer independent artists a cat verse for the low.
All independent artists from around the world, I don't care where you from, DM the GOAT, get you a murdered out verse. Alright? With all them weird ass blogs saying all these hating niggas with my name in their mouth saying every day, if you pay for a verse, that bitch getting murdered, you gonna get it back ASAP.
I say cat because the verse would never come.
And niggas mad. Niggas don't want to see y'all independent artists. They don't want to see y'all come up. That's why niggas never reach down and grab up and coming artists and independent artists and do for them. Just want y'all to stay in the mud. You know what I'm saying?
This wouldn't be his first rodeo.
That's the go-getter right there, because now you like, man, the Game just said I'm putting in work. You like, all right, bet. But that's where he gets you. He'll post it, but then after that, it's like once you're on a mixtape, he really don't care no more.
BBL Game's cap scamming days would take a halt when a real scammer showed him what it's like.
Game come on the internet, he say, you want a verse for me? Right now I'm doing all deals for independent artists. If you're independent artist, tap in. So I go on Instagram, tap in, boom. I check it out, click the page, really the Game, 12 million followers, everything, verified, boom. Okay, so I DM him again, bro, you like my music? He like, yeah. You serious about music? I'm like, yeah. He like, what you got right now? I said, 500. He said, send it on Cash App right now. I sent it right then, boom, Cash App. And then I wait like 20 minutes and I say, did you get the 500? He said, I don't know yet. Send me a screenshot that you really sent it. So I sent the screenshot that I sent it. Put me on the story and I'm getting followers and send him a screenshot. What that mean, Capo? That mean his Cash App must not be connected to his phone. So he don't get notifications. Oh, I can finesse this. Hold up. I waited about 5 days. I went to Photoshop, I made another Cash App, $500. I just changed the time to right then, changed the date to right then, cropped it up, made it look good, and I sent it to the Game screenshot. Boom, I said, that's the second 500. He said, I'm gonna host a song for you. I said, all right, cool. I checked my email the next day.
Game is BMG Capo in this you already know, bombed into Georgia.
Surprising, coming from a guy who claims he could have got a RICO.
Now, had I did that in this day and time, I'd be up in that thing fighting a RICO.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
A RICO Game wouldn't get, but something that ended up being devastating. A civil order that some would say is the reason behind these litany of scams. If you've seen my other cap story on the Game, you could recall In 2015, a woman, Priscilla Rainey, filed a lawsuit against Jayceon, alleging SA.
The point that 3 cameramen walked off set and quit because they got daughters and wives at home, and they said he's a piece of shit. Oh, you didn't know I got to see this footage, but I did. Get out my DMs.
The game called cap on the entire case and failed to appear at any of the court dates, awarding the woman $7.1 million in a default judgment. Game called cap on that as well, stating that she would never get a dime from him. The judge would call cap after years of non-payment, and in 2020, Rainey was given ownership of Game's independent label Prolific and all the royalties from the 2019 album Born to Rap. Then, in December 2023, she was granted rights to the Game's Calabasas mansion to relieve the debt, confiscating the spoils of years of work Game contributed to hip-hop and gangbanging. I guess you have to be creative if you want to be a billionaire.
I'm not a billionaire now because I just don't want to be. But if I woke up tomorrow and I felt like going to be a billionaire, I would just go put the work in and I would be a billionaire.
You could bet Jayceon is learning from the best, with his manager, Wack 100, having some of the dirtiest tactics of his own. And no one knows this better than the Game himself, who was allegedly blackmailed into being represented by the Pyru. To sum it up,
you know, them punk ass niggas over there in Black Wall Street camp, you know, you probably loudmouth niggas call them, you know, they his little bitches.
He would apparently get KO'd by a rapper named Rosemo 700 in front of his kid. Unfortunately, Rosemo days will be cut short after being shot right next to a police station.
Less than a day after Bosco's interview hit the net, Rosemo 700 careened down Florence Avenue. He'd been shot in the arm and lower abdomen. At this intersection, he T-boned a cop car, lost control, slammed into that wall, and later died.
The Game will go on the radio and imply responsibility for the death of Rosemo, who had ongoing beef with several others.
So with you, they always say something about you in the mall, and you got into a fight with some dude.
Yeah.
They say he got the best of you in the mall.
I don't know nothing about that fight. Yeah, and that dude is dead, by the way. So, you know, I mean, it is what it is, man. So,
oh, he got killed 40 days later?
I'm saying.
And just as
if you approach me with my kids, then 40 days.
He did this while, of course, promoting the new album.
All right, documentary 2. What's the date? October?
Rumor has it, this is how Wack 100 became Game's manager, catching the encounter on film, blackmailing Game for the position.
Wack Ho No 100 told me he has the footage of Game knocked out at the Fox Hill Mall.
And that was prior to him becoming his manager, right?
Yeah, he expressed upon my suggestion that has helped him secure a spot.
Jayceon would even profit off of these moves himself, getting the Kanye feature because Wack had an unreleased sex tape of Kim Kardashian.
Wack 100 just blackmailed Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. He announced it. I made a video on that. He announced it, that he got the tape. I want the tape, I got the tape.
So Kanye flew him last night.
Kim Kardashian says one of her kids see an advertisement for the new tape. She starts crying. She calls Kanye.
I want to show you guys what he got me. He got me all of the sex tape back.
Next thing you know, Kanye's making a song with Game.
Thank you for Kanye, and probably a big, fat, huge check, so we're all very good.
Oh, definitely not no check. We're not getting extorted ever again.
It seems like Black Wall Street been fucking Kim Kardashian's family up.
Nah, but you know what? I met Kim before Ye, and so I was like, damn, she fine as fuck, right? And so I asked Ray, I'm like, what's up with her? He was like, oh, that's my girl. He's like, you like her? Like, I don't know, get her number. This is what Ray said.
Why would you bring that up and say it publicly?
Her viral moment as well for his mixtape promo.
Kim, I'm apologetic for the way that I displayed our interrelations with the public.
Okay.
But how could Game have a promo run without bringing up his biggest cap story yet? His infamous showdown with 50. Problem is, every time he speaks on it, it seems to be a different story.
Do you and 50 get into a shootout?
According to 50 and the news, he was inside the entire time, finishing the interview.
Well, we got it.
Let's go.
Enough's enough.
But maybe they got it wrong because Jayceon said 50 was outside and they squared off eye to eye.
Me and 50 stared each other in the eyes with guns drawn. Guns drawn. Two that was friends and homies and they came up in hip hop together.
50 Cent went out the back door of the radio station and his security, armed security, which were more than likely NYPD.
And at that moment, everything was in slow motion. It wasn't about nobody else that was there, even though I had 30 niggas with me and 50 had 30 niggas with him, man. It's almost a blessing that only one person got hit. 50 wasn't there, but we got into a shootout with like his armed security in New York. And they were like coming out the back door. I think 50 was getting in the car or something, and then the security came around the front, and then, you know.
What happened?
Happened a little, yeah, we had a little back and forth.
At this point, I say he's doing it on purpose, but to Jayceon's credit, he did manage to add a new part to their story. Michael Jackson.
He called me in my room. I think we was in Vancouver.
Right.
He was in Canada. He said, Michael Jackson on the phone. Pick up your phone. Pick up the phone rang, and they put Mike through, and I picked up the phone. It wasn't Mike. It was some British dude, and he was like, yeah, man. He came in, and he was like, hey. And I was like, that ain't the hey I know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That heavy-ass voice.
Yeah, he didn't have that
Like,
hey, it's
yeah.
Michael. He didn't sound like that. He sounded like a regular dude.
Right.
Notice, after mentioning Michael's deep, dark voice, he goes to imitate him with the soft Mickey Mouse voice we all know him for.
There's no such thing as skin bleaching. I have never seen it. I don't know what it is.
He's like, you know what I want to tell you? And I was like, what? And he was like, that's how we do. That's how we do magic. It's magical. He was like, I got an idea. We should fix the beef on my album. And that's when he lost me.
Only a person like Jayceon would see it as a flex to hang up on the king of pop.
No. Yeah, he lost me in the conversation, so I ended up hanging up.
You hung up on Mike?
I did.
I'm calling cap, but what do you expect from the internationally known inventor of the red rose white ceiling?
I'm in that red rose white ceiling.
Look, red rose white ceiling. I was just being lazy and rap at that time. They would ask me to freestyle, and I would just
red rose white ceiling.
be lazy. I would put like 2-4 bars before it, and I would spit this song that I knew by heart because it had no hook, and it was just long. You know what I'm saying? And it was the red rose white ceiling.
Red rose white ceiling. Red rose white ceiling.
I thought it was funny too. And anytime that somebody's critiquing you, or there's constructive criticism or destructive criticism, if you just embrace it, you just go with it, man.
Right.
This would wrap up another goofy promo run for a mixtape from one of rap's most well-known cap kings, Jayceon Taylor, The Game. Thank you for watching. Please check out my other cap stories from The Game, part 1 and part 2, and my cap story on Tekashi 6ix9ine, Raps Fell Deep. Well, anyways, you know how we like to end our videos over here at Moxy Approve, right? With that water. I'll see y'all here next time on Moxy Approve.